Hey, good morning, good afternoon, friends. Yesterday we started our sermon series on discernment. As we come to the end of this year, looking forward into 2021, we want to start making good choices with God, seeking His will, following His voice, and learning and understanding it more clearly every day. So discernment kind of felt like the ideal sermon series to begin with. But before we jump into that, I do want to just do a quick, show a quick tool for you. This book, Discernment, God's Will in Living Jesus, has been a great tool for me. It's honestly probably one of my top two resources as we go through this series. But Larry Warner, who wrote this book, is a friend of mine. And he actually taught me and several of my classmates through this book as we sought to understand and to know the voice of our shepherd a little more clearly. So if you're looking for something as this kind of topic interests you, I really recommend this book, Discernment, God's Will in Living Jesus. It's an easy read. It's very applicable and practical to do in your daily life. But beyond that, I want us to slow down. And I want us to pause in the middle of our day, whatever's going on, and ask God a few questions in a time of prayer. So the first question I want us to ask God in terms of discernment is, God, where have I heard your voice, the voice of the shepherd, recently? You may have heard it within the last week. You may have heard it while reading scripture, or something may have prompted during prayer. Let's recognize those things. Or maybe you haven't heard it. Maybe you haven't been aware. Or maybe God hasn't prompted anything. Sit down with God and talk about that. So the second question I want you to ask then is, what role, God, does your Spirit play in my decision making? What role does your Spirit play in my decision making? Right? We often consider these large things. So where should I work? What's my vocation? Where should I live? Who will be my friends? When should we start a family? But we don't consider these smaller things like plans, goals, schedule, the news we watch or listen to, or the politics we ascribe ourselves to. So let's bring these sort of things before God and ask, Lord, am I truly following your Spirit in that, or am I following the voice of something else? And then the third question I want us to ask in a time of examination and prayer before God is this: God, what is my current process of discernment? Just reveal that to me. What are the strengths of my current process, and what are the weaknesses? You see, God is gracious to us. He allows us to grow in some things, even though we're unaware of it, but yet we still have weaknesses. And He presents these weaknesses to us so that we can continue to grow into the image of Jesus. So let's come before God, knowing that He is gracious, He is loving, He is merciful, and He wants to see us formed into the image of His Son. That's part of His will. So, friends, these three questions, take some time to slow down and come before God in a time of prayer today. Have a great day.